Good morning everyone and welcome to the class. We are doing the chapter International Organizations, and under this chapter we have discussed about the reforms, the demand of reforms in the UNO, and we have seen that whenever there is a demand of reform in the UN, it is about the demand of reform in the Security Council of the United Nations. Okay, and now we have also discussed what kind of reforms are required. Like there is a demand to reform in the structure and process of the United Nations, as well as there is also demand to reform the jurisdiction of the UN. Okay, and in the previous class we have completed this discussion, and today we will be discussing the topic India and the UN reforms. Okay. India and the UN reforms. Okay, what is this India and the UN reforms? What do we mean by this? So India is also one of the supporters of the restructuring of the UN. India is of the opinion that it is very much important to reform the UN in order to make it strong and more, in order, if we want that UN should play a more effective role in the world politics, then it is very much important, it is very much required that reforms must take place in the UN, and this is also opinion of India, because the context of the world politics have changed considerably, and accordingly there should be change in the structure of the UN. So we see that then only UN will be able to play effective role, and India is also of the opinion that UN should have more jurisdiction in the matters of development and cooperation among states. That is a more important jurisdiction for the UN. If UN wants to be relevant, if the UN wants to play an effective role, then it must focus on the issues of development and cooperation among states, because development, it is the view of India that development should be central to the UN's agenda. Okay, then only if development, economic and social development of each and every country is taking place, then only there can be peace and security in the world. So social and economic development are the precondition for the maintenance of world peace and security, and that is why India is of the opinion that the UNO should play more role in the field of economic and social problems, and in order to bring a socio-economic development, there will be need of cooperation among the nations. So that should be the jurisdiction of the UNO. It should focus on socio-economic problems, and it should focus on bringing cooperation among the member states. Okay, and if we see particularly what is the demand of India, yes, India is also demanding that there should be reforms, and why reforms, it is clear. Now what kind of reforms are what kind of reform India wants in the UN? India की क्या desire है, कैसे reforms चाहता है? तो India is also one of the countries which wants that there should be change in the composition of the Security Council, because we see that it is the view of India that if we compare the membership of General Assembly and Security Council, what we find that the membership of General Assembly has expanded considerably. Like we all know that it started the UN started its journey with 51 states, है ना? 51 countries were the founding members of the UN. And at present, as we have seen in 2011, this membership increased to 193, from 51 to 193. So this is, we can say, 4 times. The membership have increased around 4 times, isn't it? So according to changes, General Assembly, though it is open for all, whichever country is the member of UN will automatically become the member of the General Assembly. So membership of General Assembly has increased from 51 to 193. But if we see the situation which is existing in Security Council, this is about General Assembly, है ना? अगर हम सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल को देखें तो सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल it started with 11 members. In originally in 1945, when this organization came into existence, there were 11 members. ठीक है, सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल में 11 members थे, और इन 11 members में, as we have discussed it earlier also, 11 members में 5 जो है वो परमानेंट है, प्लस 6 जो है वो नॉन परमानेंट, है ना? तो ये ओरिजिनली थे, बाद में फिर इट वाज एक्सपीरियंस दैट द मेंबरशिप इज़ वेरी less, so it was expanded in the year 1965. 1965 में इसका एक्सपेंशन होता है, और ये जो नॉन परमानेंट मेंबर्स थे वो 6 से बढ़ करके 10 हो जाते हैं, ठीक है, 6 से 10. So what we find कि if we compare the total membership of the UN and the total membership of Security Council, we find it is highly unrepresentative. It is not properly giving representation to the member countries, because 193 is the total membership, and in Security Council there are only 15 members. So what is the opinion of India? That it should be more representative. It means that there should be increase in the number of the members of the permanent as well as the non-permanent members. And here one more point is of India. India has having one more view, that if we consider the situation which is existing in General Assembly, we find that in 193 countries, the majority of the countries are developing countries. Okay, the majority of the countries in the General Assembly are developing countries. But if we see the condition which is prevailing in the Security Council, it's not like that. The developing countries are not in majority, especially if we see the condition of that permanent members of the Security Council. In context with this permanent membership of Security Council, we find that the developing countries are not represented. They are not well represented. China is the only developing country which has given place in the permanent membership of the Security Council. Other than this, no other developing country is there as permanent member of the Security Council. So it is the opinion of India that there must be expansion of Security Council, and this expansion should give more preference to this developing countries, because the number of developing countries have increased considerably in the General Assembly, and accordingly there should be increase in the number of permanent members of the Security Council from the developing countries. And India is also of the opinion that if we see the past years experience of Security Council, we find of the UNO, we find that the activities of Security Council have greatly expanded in past few years. It has expanded its power. It is giving such decisions which are shaping the world politics. And if we want that the Security Council's actions should be successful, more and more countries should obey, should act according to the decisions of the Security Council, then it is very much important, it is very much required that it should expand. Then only there will be support from the international community. The international community will, if the international community does not support the decisions of the Security Council, then Security Council will become a failure. So the success of Security Council depends upon the support of the international community, and the support of international community depends upon the representation. If the countries are well represented in the Security Council, then there will be a kind of satisfaction among the member countries, and they will support the decisions of the Security Council. And this is the reason India is of the opinion that developing countries must be given place in the Security Council as permanent member. है ना? क्योंकि Security Council सबसे powerful organ है. Security Council has the power to take such decisions which are binding on the member countries. But still, if the world community is not going to support the decisions of the Security Council, then it will become a failure. So in order to be successful, it is important that it must represent the world properly. If in the world the number of developing countries are greater, they are in majority, then they must be given proper representation in the Security Council as permanent member as well as non-permanent member. And now we see that India wants that there should be reform. India wants that the composition of the Security Council change. India wants that jurisdiction should also focus on the issues of development and cooperation among the nation. And India is also of the opinion that developing countries must be given proper representation in the Security Council. There is reason behind it, we have explained it. And now what we find that India itself wishes to be a permanent member in a restructured UN. जिस जो restructured UN होगा उसमें इंडिया परमानेंट मेंबरशिप का क्लेम करता है. इंडिया का ये कहना है कि इंडिया जो है उसको परमानेंट मेंबरशिप मिलनी चाहिए, बिकॉज 1945 में व्हेन द यूएन केम इनटू एग्जिस्टेंस, एट दैट टाइम whatever conditions were there, now after so many years, after around 55 plus 75, 85, after around 85 years, the circumstances have changed considerably, and India, which was just emerged as an independent country, एक्चुअली देखा जाए तो 1945 के अक्टूबर तक हमें इंडिपेंडेंस मिली भी नहीं थी फॉर्मली, दो इट वॉज डिसाइडेड, इट वॉज डिक्लेयर्ड बाई इटली दैट इंडिया विल बी गिवन दिस फ्रीडम, बट इट वॉज नॉट अ फ्री कंट्री एट दैट टाइम, इट वॉज अ कॉलोनी ऑफ द ब्रिटिश. तो और अगर आज हम देखें 2020 को देखें या 2021 में देखते हैं, तो जो ये है इंडिया है, इसने काफ़ी ज़्यादा डेवलपमेंट किया है. तो हम किस बेसिस पे इंडिया अपने परमानेंट मेंबरशिप को क्लेम करता है? व्हाट आर द बेसिस ऑन विच इंडिया क्लेम इटसेल्फ एज द परमानेंट मेंबर ऑफ द सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल? सो वी विल डिस्कस दीज बेसिस. क्या है इस क्लेम का बेसिस, क्या है? ओके So first of all, we will see that India has the second largest population, है ना? का जो पॉपुलेशन है वो वर्ल्ड का सेकेंड लार्जेस्ट है, चाइना बीइंग द फर्स्ट, बीइंग द लार्जेस्ट कंट्री population wise. India is at the second position, and we see that 1/5 of the world population जो है वो इंडियन है. अगर टोटल वर्ल्ड की पॉपुलेशन को देखें तो 1/5 जो है दे आर इंडियंस. तो ये हमारा एक प्लस पॉइंट है, किस बेसिस पे हम क्लेम कर रहे हैं, इस बेसिस पे हम क्लेम कर रहे हैं. नाउ वी सी द सेकेंड पॉइंट, वी सी दैट इंडिया इज़ द लार्जेस्ट डेमोक्रेसी. लार्जेस्ट डेमोक्रेसी कहने का क्या मतलब होता है? लार्जेस्ट डेमोक्रेसी का मतलब होता है कि वी हैव सेकेंड लार्जेस्ट पॉपुलेशन एंड द लार्जेस्ट इज चाइना, एंड चाइना इज़ नॉट अ डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री, इट्स अ कम्युनिस्ट कंट्री. तो जो लार्जेस्ट पॉपुलेशन वाली कंट्री जो कि डेमोक्रेटिक है वो इंडिया ही है. दैट इज़ वाई इट इज़ कॉल्ड largest democracy. It does not mean we have the strongest democracy. Don't get confused with these terms. Just try to understand terms. Largest population wise. Okay. So we have largest, we are largest democracy in the world. एज वी हैव सीन, जब क्राइटेरिया जो फिक्स किया जा रहा था, जब हमने देखा था 97 में कोफी अन्नान ने जो स्टार्ट किया इंक्वायरी, उसके बाद जो क्राइटेरिया फिक्स हुए उसमें वन ऑफ द क्राइटेरिया इज़ दैट द कंट्री शुड बी, द पॉपुलेशन ऑफ द कंट्री शुड बी लार्ज, देन डेमोक्रेसी, वेल इस्टेब्लिश डेमोक्रेसी होना चाहिए, डेमोक्रेटिक वैल्यूज़ को जहाँ पर इम्पोर्टेंस दिया जाता है. तो इन दोनों क्राइटेरिया में हमारी कंट्री जो है वो सही बैठती है. एंड नाउ वी सी, इसके अलावा और क्या बातें हैं जिसकी बेसिस पे हम कह सकते हैं कि इंडिया को मिलनी चाहिए परमानेंट मेंबर से. तो इंडिया जो है इसने यूएन के जो भी इनिशिएटिव रहा, जो भी एक्टिविटीज़ रहा यूएन का, उसमें इंडिया ने पूरी तरह से सपोर्ट किया है. यूएन के पीस कीपिंग फोर्स में इंडिया जो है, इंडिया ने सपोर्ट किया है ना. और कभी भी किसी भी तरह से इंडिया का ये नहीं रहा कि यूएन के लिए हुए डिसीजन के वो अगेंस्ट गया. सो इंडिया ऑलवेज सपोर्टेड यूएन्स एक्शंस एंड इट ऑल्सो प्लेड अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल इन द पीस कीपिंग फोर्स ऑफ द यूएन. सो थर्ड पॉइंट इज इंडिया रोल in events in the peacekeeping यूएन की जो पीस कीपिंग फोर्स है उसमें इंडिया ने क्या रोल प्ले किया? इंडिया ने बहुत ही सब्सटैंशियल रोल प्ले किया है और इस वजह से इंडिया इसको क्लेम करता है. इंडिया ने हमेशा यूएन के डिसीजन को सपोर्ट किया है, आगे बढ़ाया है. ठीक है. एंड नाउ वी सी द फोर्थ पॉइंट विच इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, दैट इंडियाज़ इकोनॉमिक पावर. इकोनॉमिकली इंडिया हैज़ बिकम अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग कंट्री. इफ वी सी स्पेशली आफ्टर this 1991 when we started to liberalize our economy, new economic policy was adopted and globalization, privatization and liberalization took place in our country. And after that we find that the country's economic growth was very high. GDP के हिसाब से भी अगर हम देखें तो हम काफ़ी आगे हैं, 5th पोजीशन पे रहे हैं अभी, और ग्रोथ रेट भी हमारी बहुत अच्छी है. तो इकोनॉमिकली जो है हम एक बड़े पावर, बहुत ही बड़े पावर के फॉर्म में सामने आ रहे हैं. ठीक है. तो इस बेसिस पे भी हम अपने परमानेंट मेंबरशिप को क्लेम करते हैं. ठीक है. बिग इकोनॉमिक पावर, वी हैव इमर्ज्ड एज अ बिग इकोनॉमिक पावर. Okay, and now we see the next basis on which we claim this permanent membership. Okay, India has also made regular financial contribution to the UN and never it has never gone back on its payment. जो भी इसको पेमेंट करना था उस पेमेंट को उसने किया है और कभी भी उससे पीछे नहीं हटा है. रेगुलर फाइनेंशियल कंट्रीब्यूशन ये करता आया है. दैट इज़ ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द इम्पॉर्टेंट बेसिस कि हमारा जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है, फाइनेंशियल कंट्रीब्यूशन है, दैट इज़ हाईली रेगुलर एंड वी ऑलवेज फाइनेंशियली सपोर्टेड. जितना भी हुआ हमने सब उस हिसाब से किया है. सो दैट इज़ अनदर पॉइंट, फिफ्थ, दैट वी आर अ रेगुलर फाइनेंशियल contributor. Regular financial contributor. Okay, regular financial contributor to the UN. So, India is very much aware that the permanent membership of Security Council is very important. It has a kind of symbolic importance, है ना? If we India becomes a permanent member in the Security Council, then it will increase the India's importance in the world affairs, है ना? And it will have an advantage in conducting its foreign policy, है ना? Then what happens कि everywhere things will be done according to our interest. So this is very important. तो ये जो है ये these are the important claims, important basis on which this claim is done कि we should be given permanent membership in the Security Council. Okay. And other than this, you can also give like the points which were there in India as a new center of power. जो इंडिया को एक न्यू सेंटर ऑफ पावर के फॉर्म में हमने देखा था, उसमें जो हमारे पॉइंट्स इंक्लूडेड थे उनको भी हम इसमें इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं, लाइक साइंटिफिक एंड टेक्नोलॉजिकल डेवलपमेंट, मिलिट्री जो हमारी स्ट्रेंथ है, ठीक है, उन सब को हम इसमें ऐड कर सकते हैं. कल्चर हमारा इतना रिच है, जो एंशिएंट कल्चर है, सिविलाइजेशन है, उन सबको इसके अंदर हम रख सकते हैं. बट दीज आर द 5 मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स विच शुड नॉट बी मिस्ड. इनके बाद आपको जो भी अदर पॉइंट्स रखने हैं ये इनके बाद रखने होंगे. जो मेन पॉइंट्स हैं ये पांचों आने चाहिए आंसर, ठीक है. और इसमें एक बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट सेंटेंस है, आपकी बुक में ही वो सेंटेंस है, द रेपुटेशन फॉर बीइंग पावरफुल मेक्स यू मोर इन्फ्लुएंशियल. एक जो रेपुटेशन बन जाती है ना कि हम पावरफुल हैं, वो आपको और भी ज़्यादा पावर देती है. भले ही हो सकता है हमारे पास बहुत पावर ना हो, बट हम ऐसा दिखावा कर रहे हैं, हमारी एक रेपुटेशन बन गई कि हम बहुत पावरफुल हैं. तो वो जो हमारा रेपुटेशन है ना, वो हमको और भी ज़्यादा इन्फ्लुएंशियल बना देता है. ये हम इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में कहा जा रहा है कि अगर हमको परमानेंट मेंबरशिप मिल जाती है तो एक हमारा रेपुटेशन इस बात की बन जाएगी कि हम बहुत पावरफुल हैं, और उस रेपुटेशन से फिर हमारी इन्फ्लुएंस जो है वर्ल्ड पॉलिटिक्स पे बढ़ती जाएगी. सो दिस इज़ व्हाट हैपन्स इन सोसाइटी. किसी को हम अगर मानने लगें कि बहुत वो पावरफुल है, तो एक्चुअली क्या होगा कि उसका इन्फ्लुएंस धीरे धीरे बढ़ता ही जाएगा. तो दिस इज़ द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ बीइंग अ परमानेंट मेंबर इन द सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल. सो इंडिया का ये क्लेम तो है, लेकिन इन सब के बावजूद हम देखते हैं कि इट इज़ नॉट ईजी टू बिकम अ परमानेंट मेंबर इन सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल. ये बहुत ही ज़्यादा मुश्किल है, क्योंकि इट इज़ नॉट ओनली इंडिया विच इज़ क्लेमिंग दिस परमानेंट मेंबरशिप. अदर देन इंडिया देयर आर मेनी अदर कंट्रीज विच आर क्लेमिंग फॉर दिस. सो इट इज़ नॉट एन easy task to become a permanent member in the Security Council. So there are obstructions. the path is not easy. There are so many obstructions in becoming permanent members. The first obstruction is our troubled relationship with Pakistan. First of all, we don't get support from our neighboring countries like Pakistan, China. These are the countries which are our neighbors, and they are never going to support our claim for this permanent membership. And this troubled relationship with our neighbors is also one of the obstructions in the path of becoming permanent members, because if we are already having bad relationship, then and if we become the veto yielding, veto wielding member of the UN, then it is very much obvious that it will go against the interest of the countries like Pakistan के against हो जाएगा हमारा बनना. So Pakistan will never support India's claim to become a permanent member. Other countries also think that that troubled relationship of India with Pakistan is one of the hurdle. If India was having a good relationship, cordial relationship with all its neighbors, then it could have been easier. So the first problem or the hurdle is the troubled relation with Pakistan. And other than this, there are other hurdles also, like India in May 98 we have done the nuclear test for the second time. First time we did it in 1974, and then in 1998 May we did it again. And when in 1974 we did the nuclear explosion nuclear test, that was we told the world that we are doing this for peaceful purpose, for the generation of nuclear energy, but actually the purpose was to develop nuclear weapon. And now again, when in 1998 we did this nuclear test, at that time it was very much clear to the world that we are doing this test for developing nuclear capabilities of our country. And moreover, we have not signed on NPT and CTBT. So these are obstructions, है these are obstructions in our path of becoming permanent members. Then there are many other countries like India who were nothing at the time of foundation of the security of the UN, but after this 80 years of time जो टाइम पास किया है उसमें उन्होंने बहुत ज़्यादा प्रोग्रेस किया है. लाइक ऐसे कंट्रीज़ हैं ब्राज़ील, जो कि एक बहुत ही पावरफुल कंट्री हर एस्पेक्ट में. आज के डेट में ब्राज़ील एक पावरफुल कंट्री है. अदर देन ब्राज़ील, जापान इज़ देयर, देन जर्मनी, साउथ अफ्रीका. These are the countries which have also emerged as new centers of power in the world politics. And if India is given the permanent membership, then these countries will also demand, because their claim is also very much justiciable. Okay, so other than this, it is also one of the obstruction that many are of the view that Africa and South America is not represented in the permanent membership of the Security Council. These continents, America, South America and Africa, they are not given any representation in the Security Council. So if there is any expansion of the Security Council, then these countries must be given representation. These continents, कम से कम इन दोनों कॉन्टिनेंट्स की एक एक कंट्री ज़रूर होनी चाहिए. तो और एशिया से तो रिप्रेजेंटेशन है. तो इस तरह से अगर हम देखें तो इंडिया का जो क्लेम है वो बहुत, जिसको कहेंगे कि स्ट्रॉन्ग क्लेम नहीं है. एंड इट इज़ नॉट ईजी, ये आसान नहीं होगा कि हम सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल के मेंबर, परमानेंट मेंबर बन जाएं. ओके, सो ये हमारा इसके रिगार्डिंग जो इंडिया का जो रोल है यूएन में वो हमने कंप्लीट कर लिया है. अब हमारा लास्ट जो सेगमेंट है वो बचता है, एंड दैट इज़ द यूएन इन अ यूनिपोलर वर्ल्ड. जो बाईपोलर वर्ल्ड टर्न इनटू यूनिपोलर वर्ल्ड, एंड जस्ट इन after the disintegration of USSR, world become unipolar, and in this unipolar world we find that the role of UNO has become different. So in the next class we will discuss about the UN in a unipolar world. So this is all for today.